here we go. It is January 3rd, 2026, my first and probably last interview in the sanctuary with Michelle Robinson. Michelle Robinson, welcome to Sanctuary. How are you doing today?
Today I'm sort of coming down from the holidays.
Yes.
For sure. And then I've been thinking about what 2025 was and what I hope 2026 will be. But these moments we never know, right? We never,
Yes.
We're on this precipice of something.
Yes.
We're marking the time, the date, and looking forward to something that will come, and hopefully it will be good.
Yes. I'm really excited to have you here. We are working on a collaborative project, a sort of book object, you might say, where we are combining my structure and your prints, and I'm really thrilled about collaborating with you. It is an initiative of Shoebox Arts, Christine Schumacher, and it's going to be shown along with a number of other collaborative books, I believe at the Startup Art Fair in Venice in February. So we are here to discuss and determine next steps for that project, and also you kindly agreed to do this rough interview. Our verbiage, I think, will be arresting and interesting and smooth, but as I've said, my video technique is developing, shall we say. So you reside in Silver Lake with your wonderful husband, Darren. You hail from Texas. I'm just going to say Texas. And I very much appreciate you making the drive today. Can you share a little bit about maybe what you're looking forward to in addition to our project? You do quite a bit of exhibitions and various residencies. You have a studio at the Keystone Arts Center across town. Can you share a little bit about your practice and maybe what you're looking to do this year, if anything, or some highlights from last year or both?
Sure. I can just say, briefly.
Yes.
Say my practice is centered around loss and longing, and investigating things that change over time. And those ideas can either be personal, like within the home or the domestic space, or it can. Lately, I've also been doing a lot of kind of research-based projects about climate change and the losses that are occurring as a result of that. And this then manifests itself into objects that are either photo-based or textile-based, and can be really tactile embroideries or hand-painted photographs. It all depends on the project itself. Looking back, I guess, on 2025, a couple of things that were really meaningful to me. One was a solo show with at 825, now 825, that was like a culmination of a lot of this work about climate change and loss through wildfire and human intervention in endangered species and things like that. So that was a really good moment for me to kind of reflect on that work, which had come out of a series of residencies I'd had over the previous couple of years. And then another big moment for me was being able to co-curate a show about the Los Angeles River for Chateau Gallery in Koreatown, and that allowed me to pull together some artists who are doing similar work and having similar thinking about ecology, in this case particularly the strange urban ecology of the river, and work with them and learn from them and also participate in the show. So that.
And you work in a variety of scale. I mean, you have smaller print work, you have large installations, and some of those installations are composed of a lot of these smaller pieces arranged together. Can you share a little bit about your perception of our project? We love collaboration here at 18th Street. It's really, it's encouraged, whether between, artists who are having studios here, such as myself, or, artists of other disciplines or artists from other areas. So you had approached me about this book project. You must have had some image or some thoughts about it.
Yeah, I first found you as an artist through an exhibition. I think it was a Textile Arts LA exhibition in Midtown area. But I saw one of your book structures there, and it was one of the black pieces that had that incredible spillage of cords and tangles. I think it was the entanglement piece.
I think Torrent and Tangle.
Yeah.
Keep your house in order.
Yeah, and
Ha ha.
it was so much kind of in the realm of things that I had been thinking about as well, or it felt very meaningful to me in that piece and the structure. And so I reached out to you all those ages ago, I think, and just we connected through social media, and
we had some dialogues.
And I had some dialogues and some studio visits, and I've kind of kept in touch with each other's work. And so when I saw Christine's book project proposition, I thought, wow, that would be a really interesting thing to do, is sort of connect back to that first piece that I had been so enamored with, but also a way of, thinking about our work, in a new light. And I haven't done a lot of collaborative artistic projects, but I've done a lot of collaborative work in my day job.
Right.
All collaborative work. And there's something really, I think every time that I do work with someone else, I learn through the process. I learn from them, and I learn more about my own thinking and stuff. So
I should say that, Michelle, you are head of characters at Disney, something that I always like to mention when we're ever in public, because not only is it impressive, but good heavens, you have such an active art making practice and career. And, I chalk it up to your talent, but also your intelligence. You're a very, very smart woman. And you have so many skills, and as we move forward in this project, I'm really looking forward to learning from you and learning with you, and I think it's going to be great, and maybe the start of other projects as well. To wind up, because we have other work to do today, can you share a little bit about what it's like to be in this sanctuary, no safe space installation that grew out of, it was originally no K space NO space safe place without the roof, just creating a little bit like the box structures we're talking about for our collaboration. But this is an iteration that I feel very lucky to do with 18th Street, and kind of adding on these videos. Perhaps you can speak a little bit to what it's like in there on any level. It doesn't have to be a sophisticated level.
It's a gorgeous surface. What I noticed immediately about getting in here is how much the sound is dampened. So I feel like I'm in a sort of sound barrier, which is kind of surprising, just that right. It's sort of, I don't know how to describe it, like the surface is both reflective and non-reflective. It's bouncing my sound back at me, and yet also absorbing sound from everywhere else.
I'm intrigued with your response also from the perspective of, your long-term experience with film, and you know, and the moving image, and also your husband and partner is a musician, something I hadn't known before. So you're obviously, you know, you're listening to a lot of things. You hear him probably rehearse, you go to shows, you know, he probably is quite aware of the acoustics wherever he's playing. So it's possible you are aware of sound in perhaps a different way than many people who might be responding to this inside the project.
Yeah. I think it would be interesting to face back, to see how that would feel.
It's in, you know, no, I mean, my photographer came in, he was photographing it, and then he agreed to come in for a very brief interview, and he said that he didn't really like looking out at, you know, what's behind me, which is, you know, at that moment was a lot of his equipment, and then the doors to other studios. He thought it would be interesting if the installation was facing, you know, maybe to your right and my left. These chords, you know, in this iteration, they're like a frame, and they do have the tension of the color vis-a-vis the black, but, you know, in the original proposal for this project, the chords were more dense, and they were creating or implying different pathways. You know, here it's much more formalized and kind of symmetrical because of how we hung the sanctuary structure, and the space itself seemed to kind of beg that in a way. Well, thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you for coming out here. I'm looking forward to our meeting that we're going to have right now. And I'm also, not only our project, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you're going to be doing in 2026 with the rest of your practice. So may you have a wonderful year, albeit whatever challenges come up, and may you know safe space.